Welcome. I'm super excited to do this for a few different reasons. Number one, I love hosting webinars, and I hope you're gonna see it. I love talking about this stuff, and I think this shows. And we have also exciting things to not just communicate, but also to announce. I'm gonna say right now, you know those webinars where you go in
Certo?
and, and there is no content and people just want to sell you stuff? This is not one of these webinars. I'm going to spend 40 minutes out of 45 um, giving you knowledge, giving you content, giving you things that I think are important and things that I usually share for money for some of my clients. But in the last 5 minutes, I will announce some new products. But I just wanted to say this now so that you don't feel like you're just gonna waste 45 minutes of your time, okay? Just by listening to a sales pitch. But before getting started, there's already almost 100 people in the room, and I always love doing this little fun exercise. So while we wait for people to get in, type in the chat of this meeting, where are you connecting from, and where did you hear about this? Where did you hear about this webinar? And I already see that some people are doing it. So amazing. We have okay. We have London, Germany, LA, Mexico, London, Milan, Florence, London, LA, Berlin, Romania, Rhode Island, Greece, Ecuador, Rome, Slovenia, Mexico, Chicago, Peru. Wow, that's amazing. Istanbul from London, LinkedIn or TikTok. Amazing. Federico read my book. Wow, it's been a while. It's been around my community for quite some time then. We have TikTok, London, Design Strategy Labs. Yeah, maybe if you want, also let everybody know what you do, what do you work on. That's always interesting to see, and it's so amazing to see how many different countries are connected in the same virtual room. So transit technology, we have a product manager. Um, Amazing. There's always so many interesting people. We have Panama from the newsletter, Alan, SEO, inbound marketing, London and Calgary, data analytics, Ariel, software engineering, cybersecurity, digital learning producer, nice. XR, language educator. There's a little bit of everything. It's so amazing. Maybe this is also something that I always think it's super nice to do. If you see somebody in the chat, like maybe it's from your same city and you have a shared passion, because I guess that if you're here, you care about AI, and maybe it's an industry that you care about, connect a network. I love bringing people together who care about similar things and then potentially have, good new friendships, professional relationships, whatever you guys want to do that are born from these webinars. Amazing. Okay. So we're 4 minutes in. I don't want to waste too much of your time. We are also at exactly 100 people logged in. So I'm just going to get straight into the webinar of today. So I'm going to also keep a chat open in case you guys have questions. Give me just 1 second. Here we go. And we have Joelle from our team who is going to manage the comments as well as let people in. All right. I hope you can all see my screen. I'm gonna spotlight it if I can. Can you guys see my screen? Just let me know in the chat if everything is good and everything is easy. Can you see it? Is all good? Because I think I'm spotlighted. Yes, nice. Okay, cool. So I need to stop. I can start. Amazing. So what are we gonna talk about today? So it's a little bit of a ambitious title, how to solve your problems with AI. But basically what I want to talk about today is I want to try to bring some clarity on where AI is going and how you can really start using it and try to really bring that clarity that a lot of people are missing, because there's a lot of stuff going on in this industry. There's a lot of chaos and confusion. And hopefully spending 45 minutes together, you're going to be a little bit more clear head, clear mind on what you should do with AI. So the agenda is I'm going to start with some hot takes. I'm going to start with some of my opinions about what is happening in AI and what is about to happen in AI. And these opinions are going to be based on facts. I didn't dream them tonight, but I'm going to give you some real life case study and some real data to sort of bring my points across. Then I'm going to talk about, so what? If my hot takes, if my predictions are true, then what can we expect and what should organizations do if they want to embed AI in their processes? I'm going to present a skill and change model for AI. What do I mean? I mean a specific, clear taxonomy for what kind of skills, what do you need to learn, and what behaviors you need to adapt if you want to succeed in this revolution. And then I'm going to finish the last 5 minutes. I told you there's going to be a little bit of a sales pitch, but I think it's amazing. We're going to announce the new edition of the Generative AI Project Bootcamp, as well as a new AI Academy product and a special launch sale. So if you care about those things, if you care about learning more about AI, then stay until the end because we're going to talk about some new interesting things. If you don't want to learn about AI, you're free to go in roughly 40 minutes. Okay, rules for today. Questions are welcome. So if you have any questions, just shoot in the chat. And I always say this, try to focus, try to spend some, don't scroll on Instagram and do this sort of stuff. And I say that because I know that a lot of free webinars, people subscribe and since they're free, they don't care about it too much. But this stuff is important. And I do this as a job and I usually get paid well to do those kind of things. So there is value in this, even though we're doing this for free. Okay. So try to focus. It's just 45 minutes. A few words about me in case you don't know me, just to set the stage, and then we're going to get into the content. So I've been working on AI for roughly 10 years. So yes, there was something called AI before ChatGPT. I founded two companies. One is called AI Academy, which is the company that is sponsoring this webinar. And it's a company specialized in teaching people how to use AI in their career. And a new startup called Epiphany. This is still in stealth mode. I'm also very active in the field of AI ethics. I published an investigation on AI and gender bias for The Guardian that has been covered a little bit all over the world. From Rome, living in Copenhagen, and then you see at the bottom some of the logos of the organizations that I work with. So I've consulted Procter & Gamble, Merck, and I teach at Harvard University in their executive class. But let's move into the hot takes. So these are 5 things that I believe are happening and will happen in AI, and I will justify all of them. Okay? So these are not just my opinions, but it's sort of the foundation. Because if we understand, if we have some hypothesis or where AI is going, then we can start thinking about what do we do about this? So that's the idea. So first hot take, no one has a tech edge. What do I mean by that? I mean that all the different tech providers are all starting to reach the same level of performance. So there's a lot of focus on LinkedIn, especially, where people say, oh my God, there's a new model for Anthropic. Everything is changing. Or OpenAI is screwed because of this new model. No, they're all going to reach the same performance. And data tells this. So if you see this graph on top, you have the GPT-4 class models. These are basically models that have a specific level of performance that are good enough for very advanced cases. And as you can see, GPT-4 came very early. It came around April 2023. But as you can see, there are new models, Claude 3, Opus from Anthropic, and Gemini Ultra that are very close to these models. And if you see this performance, they're all going up and all converging in that space, which means that you should not focus too much about, is it OpenAI that is going to win? Is it Anthropic that is going to win? They're all the same at some point. They're getting there. That's my first hot take. My second hot take is that AI performance will plateau. AI models have been getting better and better and better super fast, but this is about to reach a plateau. And data shows us this. These are the performances of different AI models in time based on their scaled compute. And what we can see is that their level of performance is more or less reaching some sort of limit on these performance metrics. So this performance metric called MMLU is basically a test that those AI models have to take to understand their so-called intelligence. So my second hot take is that, people are talking about, when are we going to reach AGI? How is GPT-5 going to be? I don't think that these models are going to be substantially better than what we have today. And then we're going to talk about, so what? What do we do about this? My third hot take, and this is pretty much correlated to the first and to the second, is that the technology, the core underlying technology, the AI models will become a commodity. So I don't need to, this is not an opinion. Look at these numbers. So OpenAI sells access to their technology, to their large language model, as something called an API, which basically means that they allow developers, but not just the developers, like anybody who wants to integrate AI in their products to use their models, and you pay per token. A token, you can imagine it like a word. It's not really a word, but similar to a word, okay? Look at the price difference. Today, the cost for GPT-4o is $2.5 per million tokens. When it was released a year and a half ago, it was $60 per million tokens. So there has been a 95% price cut in a year and a half. And if we consider GPT-4o mini, which is really good, actually, I'm using it in the products that I'm building. It's not at the level of 4o, but it's good for a lot of use cases. Then the price cut becomes even bigger, 99.7%. Guys, this is the fastest depreciating asset in history. If you want to quote me on LinkedIn, go ahead and do that. I'll tell you, somebody is gonna give you shit because I know what happens when I say this. A lot of people don't they think that this is crazy, but actually the data tells us this is the fastest depreciating asset. And why? Because of the things that I said before, that the difference between different providers is becoming thinner and thinner. And so obviously when you have two assets that are exactly the same, then you start having pretty much, a price war. All right. So the fourth hot take that I have is that we do not need smarter models. So far, the first two things were kind of negative, like, oh my God, AI is not going to improve that much. The third one is great for us because it means that the price is going down. And this one is also, I think, great for us. And it's something that I don't hear that much. So a lot of people focus on how smart these models are. And for instance, there was this article that I read. Forget GPT-5, OpenAI launches a new AI model family o1 claiming PhD level performance. And I always ask people this question, how many tasks in your company require a PhD? Let's say that I create an AI model that is as smart as Albert Einstein. Well, do you need Albert Einstein to do your job? I mean, some parts of your job are going to be really hard, but if you create marketing content, if you are an operations manager, you don't need that most of the times. Okay? So the intelligence that we have available today is good enough to solve most use cases. This is also a hot take. A lot of people don't agree with this, but I've just built things that convince me otherwise. So if you or somebody in your company is thinking, I'm going to wait a little bit before investing in this technology. I want to wait for this to get a little bit better. That's a really bad strategy because AI is good enough now. And number 5, AI products are becoming products. What do I mean by this? Well, I'm going to show you this with a case study. I told you that I was going to share opinions, but also back them up with real data and real informations. So this is a fun case study. I love telling this story. It's a company called Jasper AI. They're a content creation company. So they use AI to create stuff like LinkedIn posts and social media posts. So this is their history. They start in 2021 and their original name was Conversion AI. So it was a very marketing driven company. They reached $3.6 million of annual recurring revenue in 4 days, which is insane. They were using, at the time, they were using something called GPT-3. It was the model before ChatGPT, okay? I remember I used it at the time and it was really hard to use. So they managed to make it easier to interact with. So they raised $45 million. No, sorry, they raised $125 million when they reached 45 million of annual recurring revenue. And the product was so good that some of their customers were tattooing the logo of the company on their body. To me, this is the craziest thing ever. Because you can make a lot of money, but if people are tattooing your logo on their body, that means that people truly love what you're doing. It's amazing if you think about this. I do not have a logo of AI Academy, by the way, on my body, just FYI. Then they raised $125 million at a $1.5 billion valuation, and then ChatGPT came out. So why did I tell you this story? Because I want to show you how the way that they communicated their product changed and evolved over time. So this was their first landing page, and they communicated in such a simple way. Then their name was Jarvis in the beginning. Between it was conversion.ai, then Jarvis, and then Jasper. Obviously, Marvel sued them when they called this Jarvis. And they were just saying, let Jarvis write your Facebook ads. Straightforward. This was their cost, $29 for 20,000 words. Crazy to think about this today, right? That they had a limit. And $109 per month for unlimited words. So this is what they were doing. This is a new landing page. Notice how their value proposition was create amazing blog posts 10 times faster with AI. So AI was the front of their communication strategy. We are an AI product, AI here, AI there. This is what immature companies do when they build their first AI product. They always shout AI, AI, AI everywhere. Then ChatGPT came out, and notice how their communication strategy changed. And this is not because this is not a lesson in communication, okay? This is because we want to understand what value they had to emphasize in their product, which basically means what do people care about, right? So this is their new landing page, May 2023. Meet Jasper, on-brand AI content wherever you create. Notice how they started to specialize and to be a little bit more, a bit more businessy and say, we're not just an AI content creation tool. We are an on-brand AI content creation tool. So they talk about never lose your voice, always sound like you're supposed to do. And we are a better AI for business. Notice how they're going above just content creation. They're saying this is content creation for business. Then they started saying, well, it's not just faster, it's better. An AI copilot to create better marketing campaigns. So they're starting to shift the value proposition from speed to quality and outcomes, which is a sign that the industry, people, me and you, start knowing, of course, AI is going to make me faster. What else are you going to give me, Jasper? Right? It's an interesting, no? But here's the most interesting thing to me. Look at the features that they built. So company intelligence, campaign acceleration, content acceleration, analytics, and insights. So they built some project management features. This has nothing to do with AI. It's just project management. Go beyond faster outputs to higher performing marketing. And they talk about data analytics. Nothing to do with content creation and AI. All on an enterprise strong foundation. Again, they talk about the data that they collect from you and how well they keep it. Nothing to do with AI. So my message here, the reason why I'm showing you this is because, as you can see, as the market evolved, they started focusing more on other features that are not just AI features. So it starts to become more important to really, truly understand your industry and your customers. And it's not just about how good is your AI, but it's about everything else around it. It's about integrating it in a workflow, in a product to solve a business problem. That being said, look at the pricing. It actually went up. So their basic license was $29. It went to $39, which means that they still managed to add enough value on top of the underlying AI functionality to justify charging more than ChatGPT. So this is super interesting to me because it means that tools like ChatGPT are becoming the generic tools, but there's still value, there's still space to add additional features and make an AI product much more valuable for users and charge them even more than the normal ChatGPT price. Which again, it's a sign of an industry that is becoming more mature. It's a sign that it's not enough to shout AI and then people are gonna buy. You need to focus on solving their problems. You need to focus on building a real product and not just an AI product. So these are my 5 hot takes. What should you do then? let's maybe, remember what are my hot takes. My hot takes are basically that number one, all tech companies are starting to have the same performance, that we do not expect to have insane increases in performance in the short term, that it doesn't matter. AI is already powerful enough to solve a lot of problems, that the cost of AI is going to go down, which means that you can integrate it in products. And number five, the products, AI products are becoming more mature. And so we're going in a phase in which just having AI is not enough. You have to build something that actually solves people's problems. All right. So now the question, this is my small recap of my 5 hot takes. I have more, but the 5 that I selected for today. Um, let's talk about what should you do then. When I say you, what do I mean? Who am I? Who is this for? Well, this is for if you're a professional and you care about your own career and, learning new skills and becoming somebody who plays a role in this new AI revolution. Or if you are in a company, maybe you're a startup entrepreneur, maybe you're an executive, and you want to truly think about where your company should go. This is not for you if you work for OpenAI or Microsoft. If you're a tech company, your strategy should be different. I'm talking specifically about professionals or people who lead teams in companies. So that's who this is for. And I want to present you with a model to think about this. I'm going to introduce a few different concepts. So feel free to drop in some comments in the chat if you have any questions about this. The first one is a way to visualize what is going on in AI. Sorry, I messed up with my slides. Is there's an underlying technology, the large language model. This is the technology that powers ChatGPT. And you can imagine it as, this conceptually the same thing as a database. It's a technology, but it needs to be integrated in a product to bring value. Okay. Then there are generic tools. These are basically the equivalent of Excel. Excel is a database in the end of the day. It's to put some data in and visualize it. But Microsoft Excel is generic. You can do anything. You can plan your holidays or you can manage your customer data with Excel. ChatGPT is the same thing as Excel, which means that you can do pretty much whatever you want with it, but it's generic. It's not specialized to solve very specific problems. Then there are new application-specific tools. What are those application-specific tools? These are tools that really go narrow deep into one specific application or use case. An example could be a CRM if you're talking about databases. A CRM or a customer relationship management tool is a tool where you can put your customer data. Technically, you could do that with Excel, but you would be pretty insane if you managed a lot of customers with Excel. Don't do that. And this is why there are companies like Salesforce that are worth hundreds of billions of dollars that just do that. They take that core technology, a database, and they make it super highly vertical and specific for the sales industry in this case. Now, the application-specific tools of the AI revolution are not quite there yet. I just showed you one. Jasper is an application-specific tool for content creation and marketing. And you can, and I hope I convinced you that there's a lot of space to build amazing products if you verticalize and specialize in something. But so I first want to convince you, if I haven't convinced you yet, that you should not invest in the technology, but you should invest in something else, which we'll talk about later. I want to give you another last proof. Okay. And this is something you can go and tell your colleagues. It's pretty fun to think about. So let's talk about this technology. So in 2023, which sounds like in AI years, it's like dogs. In AI years, 1 year is like a decade, but it's just a year and a half ago. Okay, it's not that much. Bloomberg built a finance-specific large language model. They spent $10 million, and it was supposed to be the best possible thing because, well, they said we have a lot of cool financial data, therefore we can build the best financial AI. Amazing. Then there's a new scientific paper that came out. This was a few months ago, 4 or 5 months ago, I think, where a bunch of researchers try to compare the performance of Bloomberg's specialized model to the performance of GPT-4. And they found that GPT-4 is better than Bloomberg GPT. So the new general models are better than the old specialized models. Okay? So basically, what did Bloomberg have to do? They took their little model, and I hope you're going to appreciate this animation, and they threw that in the trash because it's completely useless. Literally, they spent $10 million on this, and now you can have a better performance by paying $20 a month. And I want to do this animation again because I spent like 15 minutes doing it on a plane. So I kind of want to do it again. Here we go. Okay. I hope that you appreciate the animation. All right. So I hope now I really convinced you that the playing field is not anymore in building the core technology. The playing field has moved from having the best technology to how you use it. And if there's anything that I want you to go home with from today's webinar, is this message. Let's stop waiting for the next best technology. Let's start getting the best of what we have today because it's good enough. It's probably even too good for most of the things that we need to do today. All right. I'm always amazed by the things that you can do if you know how to prompt specifically. And we'll talk about prompting in a second. And thank you for who said cool animation. I appreciate it. I feel very proud of the little animation. So, okay, if you agree with me, and I hope you do, if you don't, let's talk about it. But if you agree with me, that means that now you need to know how to use this technology, right? Because if you know how to use it, it's the right time in the history of humankind to know how to use it and start doing cool stuff with it. So the question becomes, what skills do you need? And I've been teaching people AI for the past 10 years. And I feel like this week I've been thinking about this. I wanted to build a taxonomy. So I wanted to build something that explains people what kind of levels there are of knowledge of AI and what can you do at each level. So I put this together and now I'm about to show it to you and tell you what you think. This is the first time that I share it outside of the company. So let's talk about this taxonomy for Gen AI skills. And again, this is my goal to use learning science and my experience to make it easy for you to understand what skills you need and what you need to do to acquire them. So there are 4 levels. This is loosely based on something called the Bloom taxonomy. It's a pedagogical principle. These levels are knowledge, understanding, application, and mastery. These are not buzzwords. I'm going to map them now to specific skills that you have. So, knowledge level, and by the way, when I say those things, start thinking about what level are you, okay? Because I'm going to ask you at the end. So wait right at the end, start thinking about this. If you're in knowledge level, you know that AI tools exist, but you have limited knowledge about their use cases. And you may have never tried any AI tool. This means you know that ChatGPT exists, but I don't know what do you do with it? I'm not sure. This is knowledge. The second level is called understanding. So in that case, you know that AI tools exist and can also give me some examples of use cases. You know what to do with it. You may have a high level awareness of what are the capabilities and limitations. For instance, you know that you should check the output. You know that the output may not be 100% true. You know what can and cannot do, more or less, not super in depth. And you have tried AI tools. At this level, you have definitely tried AI tools. And maybe you use them, let's say, once a week, once every 2 weeks, and you get something good out of this, but you cannot get something good reliably. And so you cannot use it in your job, basically. Except for maybe, I need to just write an email or something like that. But let's say you're a project manager. At this level, you use AI for copywriting maybe, but you do not use it for project managing because you're not good enough. You don't know how to use it well enough. And that's the second level, understanding. The third level is when we start to dance, application. So application is when you can identify the most valuable use cases for your job and you can write prompts to tackle these use cases. This means that you know that if there's something in your job that should be done with AI, that could be done with AI, and you're capable of doing it practically. You also can analyze a task and tell me, yeah, this task, I can do it with AI, and this task, this is risky. I'm going to do it by hand. And you can also identify what is the best tool to solve a specific task. If you're at this level, this means that you're actively changing the way that you work to integrate AI. Everybody should be at this level. Everybody, like every one of you, should get to this level at some point. It's okay if you're not there now, by the way. I know people are busy. You don't do my job, so you don't wake up in the morning and think about AI all day. So it's fine if you're not there, but that should be the minimum aim for you, is to get here. And now the fourth level is mastery. Let's talk about mastery. How does mastery look like in AI? Well, you can invent new solutions to recurring tasks and business challenges you encounter in your work. This means that you are already good enough to rethink your processes to leverage AI. You can prototype solutions. That could mean build simple automations, not necessarily coding. You can use no-code tools, okay? But you can build those prototypes. You can present and defend your ideas and solution to your peers. That means that if you have an idea, you want to show it to your boss, you know how to do it because you truly mastered this topic. You can collaborate on AI projects, even with technical people. It doesn't mean you are technical, huh? I want to make sure that this is clear. But it means that if you're in a room with somebody who is technical, you can have a conversation, all right? You have a superpower if you can. And you can also teach others, so you can start becoming an agent for change, basically. Now, I'm curious to know, and we're going to have a little poll coming up, so Joelle, yes, just created this poll. Just answer at what level you are at. Where do you think you are? Are you at application level, understanding level, mastery? By the way, yes, you're going to get a recording of this, so you're able to see this again. Amazing. So I see that there's a 10% of people roughly who is a mastery level, and half are at application level. Good job, guys. And then roughly 30%. Okay, so now it's changing a little bit, but roughly 30% is below application. So if you're below application, I highly recommend you spend some time learning so you can get to this application level. But this is good. I mean, I love that you guys, this is a pretty good class. Let's call it a class, a pretty good group. Okay. Amazing. Awesome. Thank you for voting. So I'm going to end the poll in 3, 2, 1 now. Awesome. Share results. Cool. So these are the results in case you want to take a screenshot and you know how this class looks like. It's a pretty good, I'm happy with my community. Congrats, guys. All right. Cool. Let's keep going. I asked you this question already, but I have a question that you should think about. How would your career look like if you were mastery level? If you reach that top level of AI understanding, how cool would your career look like? Would you get a promotion? Would you be able to become a leader in your company? Would you be able to work 10 times faster? Would you be able to bring better outcomes? Would you be able to get a new job? Would you be able to bring your company to a next level? How would it look like? I think it's a question worth asking yourself. Now, there's another thing that I want to present to you, which is the Academy model of change. What is this? This is my framework to think about how does AI integration look like in your life, in your career, in your company. And again, I'm trying to address the question that I asked some time ago, which is, well, what do you need to know and how do you need to behave to truly take advantage of this technology? So also here, there are 4 levels: awareness, spot, habit, and growth. Let's talk about them. Awareness means that you know that AI tools exist, but you're not using them. That's lowest level. You know they exist, sure, but never use them, maybe. Spot level means you use them once in a while. So maybe once a week, you come up with a new idea or something you could do with ChatGPT or whatever other AI tool and you use it. Habit is a whole different story. Habit is when you use it daily or on a weekly basis and you use it for your core responsibilities in your job. but you also have adapted your processes to take advantage of AI. This is when you have an AI first mentality, all right? But the last level is the growth level. At the growth level, you use AI daily and you're constantly up to date with what's going on in AI. But not only that, you're also experimenting with everything that is new. So you always know how to really bring your processes to the next level. And last but not least, this is super important. You're actively advocating for using AI within your company. What does that mean? That you can tell others, hey guys, this is amazing. I'm going to help you understand how to prompt. I'm going to help you see a new use case. I'm going to help you imagine a new product. You start becoming a leader. All right. So these are the 4 levels. Now, as I said in the beginning, I hope this was valuable for you to just get an idea. I'm going to make a little summary and then I'm going to tell you about how we can help you reach mastery level as well as growth level in terms of habits. Okay. First, let me start with a little summary of everything that I've said so far so that, we get a little bit of we try, how to say, condense and really make this knowledge solid. Let me stop sharing my screen so that we can look each other in the face when I do that. Okay, how do I do this? Stop share. Nice. So, what are the things that we said? Well, basically, I hope I convinced you that if I need to summarize, the moment to invest in AI, not just in terms of resources, but also in terms of skills and time, is right now. Because the technology is good enough to tackle pretty much most use cases. I'm not going to say everything, but a lot of the stuff that matters can be tackled today. And you have to think about this. Every time that there's a revolution, every time that there's a platform shift, this is what we're talking about really. We are changing from a world in which software works without AI to a world in which every software we have AI. This change brings threats and opportunities, which means that if you don't care, you may end up being, I don't want to say you're going to lose your job. I don't want to play with fear, but you're outdated. Imagine if today you don't know how to use a computer. Well, you're going to lose against somebody who does, right? It'd be absurd to think, oh, today I don't know how to use a smartphone. That would be crazy, right? It's going to be the same thing with AI. So if you don't know how to interact with this technology, you're behind. That's it. But on the other hand, since there's a new shift, there's also an opportunity, because if you are one of the first people to reach that level of mastery learning, then you can become one of the people who actually shape the way that this industry is going to look like. And it doesn't mean that you need to become an entrepreneur and build a billion-dollar company. If you want to do that, enjoy. I'll help you. It's great. But if you don't want to do that, but just want to have an amazing career, it still works for you. Because if you're one of the first people in your company that knows how to do this stuff, you're rocking, okay? You're about to have an amazing career. So now let me tell you about how we can help you with this. And again, these are perfect. Last 5 minutes to do a little bit of we can call it a sales pitch. So let me share again. Share. Can you see my screen? I hope so. Can you see it? Yes, nice. Thank you. Joella, if you could spotlight it, that would be amazing. All right. So how do you want to learn how to do all of this? Well, let's go. Let's talk about this. How do you do that? Well, we're about to start the 9th edition of the Generative AI Project Bootcamp. So let me talk about how this looks like, and then I will introduce you to a new educational product that we have created that I'm so proud of. I'm proud of this as well, by the way, but there's something new coming up. So what are you going to learn as part of this course? It's a mastery level course, okay? It's to get to that level. You will identify opportunities to create value with generative AI. You will design a generative AI solution to tackle that opportunity. You will learn a process to write reusable, scalable, reliable prompts that work every time, and you will use them to power your project. Basically, guys, the bootcamp is not, hey, here's a bunch of videos, watch them. You need to build something and we help you. That's the TLDR, okay? You will learn advanced prompting techniques as well. And you will integrate your Gen AI solution with other products and tools without running any code. We have a partnership with no code tools So you're going to be able to use those no-code tools, and we'll teach you how. And this is the process. This process, I love it, honestly, because it works, and it's just fun to have as a framework to learn. So you start, as soon as you get access, you have the community, with this by now hundreds of people, plus 7 on-demand modules with video lessons and practical exercises. But the most fun part is the live parts of this, the live sessions of this program. And when you end, you get, there's a graduation event, a demo day, and a certificate. So you start these sessions by identifying your project. Not every problem is an AI problem. So we help you identify the best project for you. We help you break it down in steps and identify what should be automated, what should not be automated. This is key. I always say a problem well framed is a problem half solved. Then we have a prompting masterclass. I love teaching that, where you really see how to prompt for a product, for something that automates a process, not just for ChatGPT. It's a different story. Then you build an automation, and you can use make.com with our partnership. You get a free account for 3 months, the pro account. Then there's a pitch and demo day. Last demo day, we had actually an investor and executive coming in and giving feedback. So you also get that opportunity if you want. It's not compulsory if you don't feel like sharing your project. But you need to build something if you want to get a certificate, because that's the only way you get to mastery learning. You cannot become a master at something without getting your hands dirty. This is why this program works, because it's rooted in learning science principles. You also get, and this is to me, probably is the best thing ever. And Dimple, you just asked a question, and I'm about to answer that with a case study, actually. You're sort of like, there's a case study in a slide from now. You get one-to-one coaching. We have 7 amazing AI coaches that you can book one-to-one coaching calls with. No other AI education company has this. Real humans you can talk to give feedback on your project, talk about your career, etc. These are people who started like you as students, but now all of them work in AI. They do AI consulting and all sort of stuff. You get a landing page, basically, where you can select the coach that you like the most at a specific phase of your project and book calls with them. We train 200 students. And by the way, I want to acknowledge, I see your questions. I'm going to get to them at the end. We train more than 200 students, and usually this program sells out. So I encourage you to not wait too long. And I want to give you an example, and this is an example from HR. So Alessandro, who is now one of our AI coaches, he started this program at 50, June 8th. This is a slide that he made. And he has experience in IT sales, marketing, and talent acquisition, but mostly he's in HR now. And this is something that he built, for instance. He built this tool for HR professionals to automate a bunch of their processes. What I love about this is that he didn't automate everything. Like, he built something to like a co-pilot for HR professionals, but this works much better than ChatGPT because it's built by an expert in HR. And these are other examples. Imelda built a tool to empower autistic drivers through voice-activated support. If you have autism and you get stressed, maybe when you get pulled over, her tool helps you stay calm. Some other people build tools to help artists create 3D sculpting images. So many different things. Feel free to take a screenshot so that you can see these projects. There's also a link that we're going to share at the end. And now is the big moment. I'm gonna take 2 more minutes. I know that I'm out of time in theory, but I hope you're gonna stay for 2 minutes, because I'm really proud of this. To be honest, this is something that I've been wanting to do for years, but I feel like this is the right time to do it, because now actually we have the right elements, the right people, and the right company to deliver the best membership ever in any, in the industry. How does the AI Academy membership work? And then I'm gonna tell you how much it is. So if you get a membership for 1 year, you can do as many bootcamp cohorts as you want. So if you buy the bootcamp, you do it once. But if you buy the membership, you can join all the classes that you want for a year. This means that if you want to build more than one project, go ahead. You can build more projects. If maybe you didn't have enough time to finish your project, you can just join the next cohort. And you're going to meet so many different people. Because while you do those cohorts, some of our students actually became friends. All right. So other than that, other than joining as many bootcamps as you want, you also get access to these 4 other trainings. Foundations of AI is a program about everything that is not generative AI. And that's because we've been in the industry for 10 years. So if you go on a lot of AI education companies today, they teach you just Gen AI because that's all they know, because they started selling AI education yesterday. But we've been here for 10 years. So Foundations of AI covers everything else. So AI for business data, computer vision, recommender system, etc. And it's included. Build ethical AI. It's built on top of my experience investigating AI gender bias for The Guardian, and it's included in the program as well. AI Career Compass, this is such a fun program. It teaches you the Stanford life design methodology so that you can imagine and envision your future career in AI. And then the Generative AI for Business Innovation program, which is if you want to kickstart an AI transformation in your company. The last two, by the way, are not for sale individually. They're just if you get the membership. So you get a bunch of other stuff, which I think is amazing. And the thing that I'm most proud of, and I'm really honest about this. I hope that you see this from the way that I speak. I think we have the best support in AI education programs, period. There's no other company that gives you this amount of support. You can get 10 one-on-one calls with AI coaches, one-on-one, okay? 1 year access to the community with instructors, coaches, alumni, me supporting you. And we have a chatbot which uses AI because we know how to build these things where you can have real-time support. So if you have a question and it's 2 a.m. and everybody's sleeping, you're still going to get an answer from a bot. And then in the morning, the community is going to give you some human support as well. And more. There's a few other things. You have 1 year of the make.com core plan, bi-monthly exclusive calls with AI experts, unlimited access to course materials, etc., etc., etc. I think I wanted to spend more time talking about the things that are most important to me. But how much it is? So it's going to be 1,395 euros per year. But since we're launching it today, it's going to be 100 euros off. So 1,295 euros if you get it before Sunday. And this is, again, because we want to sort of give back to the people who joined this webinar and have been for basically 50 minutes with me. And your company can pay for it. A lot of people actually get their companies paying for this membership because, well, if your company is investing in this, well, then they should try to finance your education. Joelle just sent a link in the chat, so you can either scan the QR code or click on the link and just see the program for yourself. And if you get it now, you're not going to get price increases. This is probably too cheap, to be honest. I think we're going to increase it at some point. But if you get it now, you lock the price. If you want to train your team, so if you're a company, you want to buy it for more people, reach out to Helen at AI Academy. Joelle is going to paste her email here. She's our partnership lead, and these are some of the companies we worked with. So we organize custom programs for you. For instance, if you want to buy 20, 10, 30 licenses, we can give you a discount and help you out. That's it. So if you want to buy just the bootcamp, is 1,095 one-off, and you get on the bootcamp and you can build your project with us. We already trained 200 people. And by the way, some of our AI coaches right now, I'm very proud of this. Some of them are in New York helping a client as a result of their work. So it does work. You truly get to mastery learning because you're able to consult others. You're able to build things. You're able to teach others. We have proof. All right. And if you don't believe us, send us an email. We'll send you more proof. The membership is 1,295 if you get it within the next 4 days, and it's 1,395 if you get it later. So these are the things that I wanted to share with you. I see Pablo is asking, is the same discount? Yes, we just update the price based on the cost that we have for currency conversion if you buy it in US dollars, but it should be basically the same thing. So if you pay 1,395 US dollars, it's basically 1,295 euros. Okay. So Sergio is saying great value, but only if my company pays for it or I get a solid ROI as an individual. Look, when it comes to ROI, I mean, for everybody it's different, but I can tell you, like, for real, there are 2 people now in New York helping one of our clients paid, and they're there because they took this program. There are people who changed their job, got a new career, or they started to get freelance clients because they took this program. It works. I mean, by now, I don't feel awkward saying this. I'm not a sales guy, guys. I'm not the kind of person who just says, oh, but this is amazing. I feel comfortable because I've seen the change that it makes in people when they take it. The slide of the 4 projects that your previous student developed. Absolutely. Actually, I know, I think I can do even better. If you go on the link that Joelle has sent, there are some examples more in depth of the kind of projects that they've built. But if you have additional questions, or you want to see the projects, or you want to talk to them, maybe just let us know, okay? But on the link at the bottom, you see some projects as well. Is the bootcamp webinar included in the membership offering? Yes. If you get the membership, you're gonna be able to join the bootcamp as well, but multiple times. So if you buy the bootcamp, you do it once. If you buy the membership, you do every bootcamp edition. We do one every month and a half, more or less. Oh, I just got a notification. Somebody bought it. Thank you. Amazing. I just see somebody, is already getting the membership, which I love it. Yes, Joella just confirms we do it 6 times per year. So you can do it 6 times, basically. I think it's too cheap, but yeah, anyway. Other questions somebody asked before. I'm gonna stay 5 more minutes just to answer questions, then I need to go for a dinner. Oh, Isabella asked an amazing question. What if I am mastery and my boss is not? I love this question. So my first answer is tell your boss to take the bootcamp. For real. Take your boss to upskill himself. And it's hard to say, hey, just go and learn. You don't know anything. But you need to convince those people that they also need to upskill themselves. And how do you do that? Because then the question becomes, how do you convince them? Well, the best way that I've seen to create change in a company, and I see also Eduardo says, my boss doesn't believe in AI. This happens very often, guys. And by the way, I'm going to stop sharing the screen because I think you have the links by now. All right. So I'm just going to speak to you, basically. I've been in this situation so many times when you have a client, because that's what I've been selling my whole life, right? AI education and AI projects. And very often clients may not get it immediately, especially guys, it was 10 times harder before ChatGPT when there was less hype. It was much harder to convince people. So what do you do in those cases when you need to convince somebody that this is the future? It's not enough to tell them. You need to show them. And this is why building projects through the bootcamp, it's a great way to do it. It's the best way to convince others because suddenly it's not anymore, how can I say, abstract. It's not like, hey, yeah, it's the future, bro. But it's like, hey, look what I built. Do you see? This works. I build this automation, I build this new process, I build this prompt, and it brings the results that you want, boss. Maybe we should do more. And I've seen this happen over and over and over again. You need to show, especially higher ups, the potential of this technology, and that's how you really convince them. Diego asked if the content of the bootcamp gets updated and changed. Yes, we update it pretty constantly. It's a little bit of it's a tough job because obviously there's new stuff coming up all the time. But we constantly update it, not just to make it up to date, but also because we get a lot of feedback from students. And so we try to improve it as much as possible. Amazing. Yeah, no, it's cool. Yeah, Isabella, good luck. My best, again, just do stuff, just build things and show them. Oh, Eduardo asked, I see in one of your TikToks how your AI chatbot for help in your courses work. We are going to learn that skill in the membership, how to work with big databases. Yes, you will. So the way that chatbot works is that it accesses a database with knowledge about our training, and then it gives answers to students based on their questions. So if somebody says, how do I write a good prompt? It says, hey, this topic is covered in this lesson. This is the answer, but if you want to go deeper, this is where you find it. And the technique to build this is called RAG, or retrieval augmented generation, and it's the last technique that you learn in the bootcamp. So you can actually build something like that. Without coding, we've been trying to do a few different things without code. And it's funny because 1 year ago, this is actually a good answer for Diego as well. You couldn't do this a year ago, and now you can. So we have updated the program so you can do this. I have a database of about 1 terabyte. Oh, it depends what data it is. I mean, now I don't have time to do consulting on what kind of data that is. But yeah, you can do a lot of things with those techniques because you're basically chunking into pieces that are manageable. Amazing, guys. If there are no other questions, thank you for, I don't want to spoil the name, but thank you for the person that already see that bought the program. And again, I just wanted to remind you, the discount is going to be just for the next 4 days. So if you have doubts, just send us an email, okay? Try to really understand whether this is for you. If you're convinced, get it now, obviously. If you have doubts, I will highly encourage you to reach out and try to get to a decision within the next 4 days, because then you save a bunch of money and you're making a great step in your AI education. People say the best day to start was yesterday. The next best day is now. All right. Cool. So thank you. And sorry, last question. Do you use Cursor AI when building projects, especially if you don't code? No, much simpler. We use specific tools that we give you access to because we have a partnership for free, where you don't need to know how to code. There's no coding involved. You just drag and drop stuff. Thank you so much, guys. It's been a pleasure. And I hope I'm going to see you in class. We're starting soon. So I hope I'm going to see you there. We're going to be learning a lot of stuff together. Ciao, everybody.